Just a moment. Right.
Yeah, man. Oh my God, that's the closest thing I felt to like a live performance in a long time.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, Fairo said, play together lah. Not play together lah, bro. But we don't have the technology to play completely 100% in sync.
Yeah.
Also, we're not boy band. If we're boy band, we can play in sync. But you know, we're not boy band. Also, we're just jazz bromance. So wow, so many people here. Wow, thanks so much. 102 people. Thank you so much.
Woo!
Yo, wow, so many. Wow, watching from KL. Miguel, Sean, Sham, Moose, Ilham. Wow. Wow,
What's up,
already
guys?
questions already coming in before we even like start.
All right.
So anyway, guys,
That's
I just
great.
want to say, hey, from Kota Kinabalu, Yusri, how are you doing? Wow, we got all people from Jitra Kedah also got. Hey, Rosli, apa khabar? Good to see you. Wow, Miri Sarawak. I'm so excited. I'm just so excited to see. Julian, you brought like people are all here, man, to hang out with us. So
all right.
first,
Great. I'm so happy.
yeah, I'm so happy. So thank you so much, everyone. We just want to say that we really appreciate everyone being here. You know, 101 people. You know, if we got that at the jazz gig, it'll be like a very good jazz gig. If we can get 95 people within like 10 minutes of starting a show, right? It's just like, you know, it sounds like a joke, but it's kind of serious, but we're really happy. So thank you for being here. Please do type where you're watching from. If you're watching this live, do type live from Kedah or Jitra or Pahang or Perlis or Puchong or Kuching, whatever it is. Type live from where you're watching. Or if you're watching replay, type replay from where you're watching. Yeah, Yusri is good, feeling good. Wow, people from Malacca. Jeffrey say terbaik. Wow, I feel like, dude, I feel like radio show, bro. Langkawi pun ada. Singaporean pun ada. Wow, Rothman Art, thanks for tuning in. Nurul Nadia, live concert from both of you, please. We want to do lah.
One day.
We can, one day lah. We're waiting for this COVID thing to like sort of disappear. Wow, Singapore here, happy sun, bro. Good. I have a lot of nice, good friends in Singapore. We both have a lot of friends. Anyways, so just to introduce, my name is Az Samad. Thank you for tuning in, all 101 of you watching this live. And I want to welcome my very good friend, very amazing saxophone player, really funny guy, Julian Chan. Welcome, Julian.
Hello. Hey, Az. What's up, Az? How you doing?
I'm okay, man. It's so exciting. Thanks so much for being here and gracing my Facebook page with your presence and just this new experience of us like kind of doing this on Facebook. Wow, Indonesia. Wow.
Hello.
So amazing. Hi. Thanks, Todi. Parlindungan Lumban Tobing. I will try to not butcher everyone's songs. Sabahan people. Wow, everyone got requests already. Tawa Sabah. East Malaysia, KK. Wow, a lot of Sabah people. Oh, wow. Brunei. Wow.
So
Singapore.
happy to see everyone.
Wow, Penang also got Penang. Very good food, bro. Oh, Perak also
Yeah.
got Serian. Wow, I like was like wow. We got someone from Subang here, Leon Yuan. Hello,
Hey
he's
Leo,
in the
what's
house.
up?
Leon, what's up? Wow, JD is also here. Wow, good, good.
Hey
Thanks for
JD,
tuning
long time
in.
no see.
Wow. Hey, someone bought a saxophone. Just we have a broadcast. Someone already bought a saxophone.
Really? Come hit me up.
Yeah,
You want some
yeah,
lessons and stuff?
yeah. Nice pitch. Very cool. So, guys, so we just want to say that thank you so much. This is what it's just named a Jazzy Q&A. And what we want to do is we just want to share some tips about jazz. Collectively, me and Julian, we're called the Jazz Bromance. It's a duo with
Yeah.
Julian playing saxophone and me playing guitar. And we wanted to share some tips. And today, actually, we're going to talk about one topic, just give some tips on this one topic. And then after that, we want to share with you guys something that's coming up that you guys can be part of if you're interested, if you want to get deeper into what we're talking about. And then we'll have a Q&A as well, so you can ask questions and we can like chit-chat lah, boleh tanya soalan and stuff like that. So today's session is kind of more jazz kind of thing, not super jazz, but kind of jazzy, because we're the Jazz Bromance, that's the duo name. And we're going to talk about a little topic call about how to learn and practice jazz licks. That's what we're going to talk about today. So let's just get into it. Lepas tu, we can ask questions after that. So Julian, when you started learning jazz, right? How do you start learning jazz licks? Because I know that when I started learning jazz, I sound like not quite rock, not quite blues, not quite jazz. So do you have like, how do you start learning like jazz licks or language and stuff?
Oh man, I most of my learning really comes from listening to recordings, listening to I mean, I didn't really get into Charlie Parker until I was in my 20s. I've listened some to Charlie Parker or some of these guys, but I was mostly into the smooth jazz stuff. So, some of the funky, pop-ish kind of jazz style. So I was more into that. So that's kind of where I start. That's where I started out, and I learned my ideas from there. I mean, whatever licks that I learned from that, and just copying and just trying to play it myself.
Can you? I'm
What about
curious
you?
about this. Well, me, I started off actually I weirdly enough, right, I started off listening to Joe Pass and really I couldn't catch anything by ear, at that point. But the first lick I remember, Joe Pass lick that I liked, when I got it, I was happy. It's actually a chord lick,
Oh,
something like that. So it's just the main thing is this A minor 7 and then this A minor 9 and then the
woo,
diminished, something like that. I was so happy. Something like that. Just this part. That was the first lick that I got. Can you share
that's
like
so
me? Do you
pretty.
have something? Yeah, I know. When I got that, I was like, oh my god, I can play jazz, so to say. But that was just like something that I heard Joe play different versions a lot. Can you play us a little bit like when you say smooth jazz, right? How does that sound? How smooth jazz sound different than jazz or like different kinds of jazz? Can you play something that sounds
Well,
like that?
like I was learning to Dave Koz and Eric Marenthal, so
Mm.
they would play ideas like so I take ideas like that, you know. So I
Wow.
learned that in that key, and that's how I learned how to play. I just learned how to play in that key. It's only
Wow,
later on when I
your
started,
lick is so
yeah.
nice.
It's that kind of like funky kind of Then it was only when I started really studying and like learning about how to practice these materials, and then I started to like, oh, okay, I'm supposed to practice it in like as many keys as possible. So that's what I started doing. So let's say if I just do that, then I'll just practice that. Then I try to find a different key. just
Okay.
keep doing it until I can get it in all 12 keys.
Were you very like systematic? Like, do you say, okay, I learned this lick in like, let's say you said, you know, I learned, let's say I learned a lick in G minor, so something like that, which is a very jazz lick. And do you go
Yeah.
through like, you know, I would see on guitar, right? We can do stuff like A flat, A minor, B flat. I mean,
Yeah.
that's like on guitar, like so easy to just like move it up like that if we're not using open strings. But I,
Okay.
I would do I would do G minor, C minor, F minor, B flat. Like, you know, like go through a cycle. Do you go through that, or
Yeah.
you just like pick random keys? How do you do it?
Well, I guess I try to start from the easiest point possible, which is on the saxophone. I guess this is where we're kind of different from guitar, where if you can do it chromatically, I mean, you're based on that pattern, so you can kind of see where it's going. Like on the saxophone, I think the easiest is still like doing chromatically. So I'll kind of just do that first, and I really pick every key as accurately as I can. Of course, I'll be practicing the metronome and all that kind of and all that too, just to make sure that I'm playing with like good rhythm, and then I'll start taking it in different what we call root progressions, meaning that
What do you mean
uh,
a root progression?
so I'll practice. So what I was doing was practicing chromatic or major minor seconds. Then I will play it in major seconds. And then minor thirds. And so on and so forth until I can get through, like my major sevens, which is basically chromatic but going downwards. so
Nice, nice.
so yeah, I did a lot of that so I can go through all these different root progressions so I can hear, it train my ears to hear in different keys and stuff like that.
Interesting,
Yeah.
very interesting. So I think like for me, hey, Jitra, someone from Jitra also.
Hey,
Cool.
hello.
Leroy. Wow, so many people. Hey, apa khabar Pak Anda Wan? Yeah, I think that's interesting because like on the saxophone, right, the technical difficulties are different, right? Different kind of challenges.
Very,
And
yeah.
I guess one thing that I had a problem at the beginning, right, is I would learn these licks. Like, I remember this is one of the earliest. I think I learned this from this one saxophonist. You know him, Great Lyons, right? He taught this in one of the
Right.
classes in college. No, sorry. That's one. And then the other lick that I remember, this is like 20 years ago.
Wow.
That's like Charlie Parker lick.
Yeah.
So I remember learning these licks, and I was like, okay, I can play that now, but I don't know how to put it into the solo. Like, like I would be able
Yeah.
to play it in a different key and stuff like that. But then I have this lick that it's like, I memorize it and I could play it like with one fingering on the guitar. But then it's like, okay, now when solo, like, how come it doesn't come out? It's like a common problem. I'm sure a lot of people know my feeling. Like, hey, I already memorized this. How come it doesn't come out during my solo? So, have you
Yeah.
experienced that? Do you have any tips on how to, from that point of where you practice that, right, where you can put it into your solo or it comes out during a gig or a jam?
Well, to answer your first question, it happens all the time. I remember going through this so much that it's like, so I kind of stopped doing that. I just stopped trying to force like those licks into it. And so really in the beginning, it's just like messing around and always not going anywhere, making mistakes. And after a while, I just found that it just comes out when it does. It just comes out.
Yeah, okay.
I think the key for me was that I learned where like let's say if I learn the lick, I know where that comes from harmonically. So whenever I play something, I would try to sort of practice improvisation, like say, for example, Autumn Leaves, right? So I would play. So I'll sort of start the improviser. One, two, one. So because I know how that sounds like, I can, after a while, I learn how to pre-hear ideas, and I know where it fits. So I will play it when it feels like it's suitable to play it there. Then I'll just it doesn't happen all the time, but sometimes it does. And sometimes you just play stuff that you didn't know. Oh wow, I should learn this, but it comes out after like 20 years.
I know, right? So meaning that, okay, I'm just trying to understand. So meaning that when you solo over like Autumn Leaves or a song that you like, then because you had practiced all these licks, different kinds of licks, right? There comes a point, sometimes, if you're lucky, you hear something that you practice and it feels like it's the right time for it to come out. And because you have practiced it, you know how to play it. Is that correct?
Yeah. That's
Wow.
exactly that.
I love the way you explain that, because it's like, I think the problem I had when I was a beginner, right, is like, okay, I know these 5 licks or these 3 licks, right, and I finally found, I look at the I don't know, like the chord progression, right, I'm like, it fits. I have a chord progression that I can use it, and I know the fingering, so I'm waiting to 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. I'm like, I'm just counting, waiting, because it's like, we memorize this thing, right? We practice hours and hours, like, okay, I can finally put it here because it looks like it will be correct. Then when I play it, I was like, wow, damn kaku, man. It sounds like damn stupid, and it's just like, it sounded better when I practiced it without a band,
Yeah.
So, do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Absolutely. Happens all the time.
Yeah, so cool. I like the idea, like when you finally hear it because you have practiced it, then it's the right time to, and like you said, sometimes it's 20 years later. So yeah, I think that's really cool. I'm just curious to hear this on the saxophone. This is just my personal question. Like, just you played just now like something smooth jazz. Maybe could you play something where maybe play a lick that, if it was smooth jazz, it would sound a bit like this. If it was, let's say, swing or bebop, another kind of jazz, it would be slightly different sounding, or maybe slightly modified. Just so that people watching can sort of hear maybe a little how the sound sounds like different, especially on the saxophone. It just sounds so nice.
Sure. So if I'm going to play like Autumn Leaves, like in a smooth jazz way, one. So it's still kind of Autumn Leaves, but then that's kind of a smooth jazz way of doing it. Then if I'm going to play like in a bebop way, I want to.
Nice, very, very cool. Wow. Yeah, that's something, right? That I was like, oh, hey, Rochefin said you guys should do this live as a weekly session. It's so popular. Dude, we have 83 people right now. So thank you all 83 people watching. Wow. Julian, if we got 83 people every gig we do, right? Okay, we can jazz is a viable, lifelong career choice, Thank you so much for being here. Wow. Yeah, I'm seriously considering to pujo you to do this weekly. it sounds like it's so exciting to hear a different angle, because my channel, right, is just usually me just like, see, I dress up today, I dress up for you. I just like to look better for you, to match Julian Chan's like style, gaya. Of course, Julian Chan has smaller library because my dad already had a lot of, so he has more, but he's building up his library there. So,
That's for sure.
anyways, so but yeah, that's, I think that's really good. There's a lot of stuff. So, firstly, I think now I just want to share what we are planning to do, so you guys know what's coming up.
Yes, me too.
Actually, Julian
I'm
and I have
excited.
been planning for this past year. I know, right? We've been planning this for the past 1 year, but we've been so busy.
Maybe even
And
longer,
then what happened
actually.
was,
Maybe
maybe long, yeah, I think longer could, yeah. And then what happened was, we finally, this past month, we've been working on it, like less than a month. We've been doing test runs like this, what you guys are watching now, like this session where we're doing this. We've been practicing doing this kind of thing together, because we wanted to share our experience with you guys. You know, it doesn't matter whether you play saxophone or you play guitar, or you're a singer, or you play ukulele, or play banjo, or play piano or keyboards or whatever it is, harmonica. We wanted to share things that you can benefit from our experience. Julian, he's performed, in China, like Singapore all the time, China, in different parts of the world, traveling. He studied in New York, and we actually last time we hung out in San Francisco. When he
oh
visited me
yeah.
last time, it was a very memorable visit. We got to makan and hang out and stuff like that. So and we have all these different experiences. We wanted to share this experience with you, and what we've done is we are coming up with a Zoom session, a 2-hour session, which is called Jazz Up Your Playing. And I'm gonna put the link here first, so everyone can see it. It is a paid session coming out on Sunday, but because we're just announcing it and it's our first time doing it, we're actually gonna introduce it as a got early bird promo. So maybe Julian, maybe you can share a little bit about hey, how come the thing don't come out? Sorry, the thing like it said like got error occurred.
Oops.
Let me try again. Okay, I think now it comes out. Okay, so I'm just putting
All
the
right.
link here. So there's a link there, and I don't know whether, I hope it comes out on Facebook. I'm gonna check whether, can someone tell me whether you guys see the clickable link on Facebook, just to let me know, let us know whether it comes out. So anyways, so this session, right, is both, you're gonna get both Julian and myself. We're gonna talk about jazz. We're gonna talk about a bunch of different topics, from music theory, how to work with singers, basically different life experiences, things that you can practice, how to practice better, things like that. And it's coming up this not this week, but well, it's the end of the week already. So Sunday, coming out on Sunday. You
Yeah.
can see it on Facebook. So good,
29.
good. So Roshavian said you can see it on Facebook. So you can click on it, and so that's coming up. But before before that goes on next week, we wanted to do this as a preview, so you know how we feel like, how bad our jokes are, how we sound like. And now let's open it up to a Q&A session, so anyone can ask anything. If you ask something, then we can. Okay, yeah. Okay, cool. The link is clickable.
Ask
So
away.
feel free to ask questions. There's a question. Wow, this is quite interesting. Immediately, there's a question. Lee Kid, you said, does bossa nova jazz apply to saxophone too?
Absolutely. I mean, if you listen to people like Stan Getz and Leo Gandelman, I mean, bossa nova is like a style, a kind of groove. So as long as you can play melodies on it, you can play on saxophone too. Definitely. And like listen to Stan Getz,
Oh,
he's like one of the masters of like bossa nova on saxophone. Yeah.
Samson said, you look really familiar. Are you the one who attended Guan Tuition Center in the 1990s? Would love to get in touch if you are. Corporates too.
No, I'm sorry. I'm not. I'm
No.
not from Guan Tuition. I was born and raised in Kajang, so I definitely Cochrane School is definitely not in my radar.
Okay. There's another.
I have a
Sean said
I
this.
have a very regular face. Oh,
Yeah,
what's
Sean
my
said this.
go-to lick of jazz,
Okay.
man?
Yeah.
Well, I have too many, and I don't have that many at all. It's it's like I learned a lot of stuff from learning solos, and some of them I do practice a lot, so that because I love them. So, but it really does come out when I do hear it during performance, and not it's not something that I kind of have to like, okay, I'm thinking of lick 27 while I'm trying to play a song or something. It doesn't work for me that way. I think a lot of melodies, I mean, especially being a saxophone player, um, I try to concentrate on playing more melodies. So those are like my licks. Like, I try to think of a melody and try to play on the saxophone. So let's say if I want to do da 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 da, I try to sing something in my head, and now I just try to play on an instrument, and I try to get the pitch right as well. So I mostly play and work on things that way, and of course I learn my licks and all that kind of thing. So and also another thing to know is sometimes when I play licks, for example, so let's say that's one lick, I might not play the whole thing. So that's a combination of different ideas based on different other licks, so it really depends what I'm hearing at the time.
Cool. We have another question. So, Sean, hopefully that answers your question. We have a question from Clark Anaviso. Any tips for rock musicians as to what album should we start listening to so we can slowly transition to jazz?
So what do you think about this one?
I think for me, I think listening to anything that is like the rock guitarists who play jazz. So there's a period of Miles Davis where it's like kind of fusion jazz, where you have people like I think Robin Ford, we have people like Mike Stern, I think, who play electric guitar but play with Miles, and that's an interesting way
Yeah.
to start. Also, like the more modern guys, well, not so modern right now, but they play in that style like Frank Gambale or like Scott Henderson that play with distortion and play with Stratocaster guitars,
Yeah.
Strat style guitars, or like fast fret shredder kind of guitars. Guthrie Govan, he's not really a jazz musician, but he plays a lot of jazz oriented lines. So I think listening to that kind of playing is a good way to go into jazz, because you're actually listening to it. You're already listening to kind of jazz elements, even though they're not necessarily jazz. I would start there. And nowadays, for guitarists, I think like anyone doing kind of neo soul, Mateus Asado, Instagram, I call it Instagram guitar, because a lot of it's like kind of, let me just see if I can. So stuff that sounds like that kind of. That kind of thing, right? That kind of. So it's actually to me like in between R&B and soul and jazz harmony. So I think is for guitarists that's what I would recommend. But what about you, Julian?
Well, I'd say there's no need to transition to jazz. I think we just for me it's more like if you're a rock musician, right? You just continue listening to the stuff that you listen to, and you start to add things into your musical library, and then the more you listen to jazz, then you kind of add that into your the music inside of you, and that's where like people like Miles Davis fusion band, that's what they did. They were jazz musicians, but they also like listen to and maybe even perform the music of Jimi Hendrix and all of that, those guys. So I think it's all music. The approach is slightly different or whatever, but it's still music. So I think it's more like adding stuff to you, and developing something out of that. And yeah, I mean, if it's more like just like getting to know a different language to say rock music or something like that. But it's cool. I mean, just I think we can just listen to both music as well. Like I love the kind of smooth jazz stuff, but I love the traditional stuff. I love like the R&B funk stuff. So it's all part and parcel of like great music. So listen
Very
away.
cool. Very cool. I like the idea of like not worrying about transitioning and just start listening. I think sometimes
Yeah.
I think for some people might feel like, oh, very hard to listen to jazz, but there's so many kinds of jazz. You know, there's swing jazz, which is a good question. There's a question from Lucas here. Biggest difference between fusion and swing jazz? That's a good question.
Yeah. Well, jazz itself, the concept of the music itself is kind of fusion in a way. I think, of course, if you're talking about a fusion from that started around the 70s era, 80s era, well, I think uh, they started adding more different groove elements into it, like R&B of the time, or rock music, or if you listen to someone like Stanley Turrentine, who plays a great saxophonist. He actually combined a lot of jazz, traditional jazz, bebop, with R&B music elements. If you listen to people like Earl Bostic, who's primarily R&B saxophonist. So, but if you're talking about the fusion in the 70s era, they just started adding rock beats to it. So, and
Hmm.
and using more electric guitars and electric bass, and basically things got even louder than swing jazz, which was primarily acoustic. So I think that's it.
Hmm.
That's the difference. But in terms of the similarities, is it kind of it came from the same source, but it kind of just diverged into different things, but still has
Hmm.
more roots in the traditional aspects of jazz.
Yeah, interesting. And I noticed a lot, like at least with the 70s fusion stuff, which I'm more familiar, 70s fusion and later, became like the stuff that happened in the 90s as well. A lot of it's
Yeah,
like less swinging, like less swing rhythms, but more like funk
yeah,
rhythms or 8-note rhythms or like different kinds of either Brazilian or Afro-Cuban rhythms. Or even just like you said, just straight up rock rhythms, and I think that's the thing.
yeah.
It was going away from away from that kind of sound to different kinds of grooves. So that's a good question. Thanks, Lucas. Another like, oh, he's maximizing our brain effort here. Can you guys make like a checklist for the progression of learning jazz? This is a really good. It's a smart person question. I like. So, do you want to go first, Julian, or should I answer this first?
I don't think we can really make a checklist, but if
Yeah,
I would say, the first thing that one can do into getting to learn jazz is to actually listen to a lot of jazz music. That's the
yeah,
first step, just to listen a lot and get that sound into your head. And I'm talking like months and months and years of listening, and then just trying to copy or find something that you like and just try to copy what they're doing and transcribe, by ear, especially. So yeah, and then there's of course a lot of other things like the theory style scales, blah blah blah. It's like it's a long checklist, but it's different for everybody. Everybody learns
yeah.
very differently, so you kind of have to find what works for you as well.
Yeah, that's good. So, Leon, since you asked, right, I will be brave and try to press share screen so I can show you what we're gonna cover in the Jazz Up Your Playing thing, which might be
Yes.
helpful, might actually cover some of this thing, which like a checklist lah. So let me be brave and click share screen, and wow, it's telling me that share screen works best on a good computer. Now this is questioning it's questioning the identity of my computer. Is this computer good for this? So I will try. Um, yeah, let me close other things and we'll see how this works. Share screen. I can pick the application window. Whew, good. Then I don't need to worry. It's like just gonna show you the guys this thing. So we'll see whether this works. Wow, I feel so legit. Like this is interesting. Are you guys seeing this? So this is a photo of us, and this is the what we're actually going to be cover. Be brave. Rosh Evian said, "Be brave." I'm brave.
It looks
So
slightly
this is
smaller at the
Jazz
time.
Up You're Playing. So this is how the name of the class is Jazz Playing. How any musician can sound bit better using pro practice secrets. I know it's kind of more marketing kind of name, but hey, I like writing marketing kind of things. So you see here that I have a description. Musicians, are you bored of playing the same things? So if you're bored of playing the same things, this session that we're doing might be for you. So let's go. You can read the link is there. And this is the main thing that we want to share. So this is happening on Sunday, 29 November 2020. So it's today's Sunday, right? It's next Sunday at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Malaysian time zone lah, you know. So and
1 week from
you'll be
now.
able to pick our brain and download our years of experience via a powerful 2-hour Zoom session. So it's basically kind of like this, like what you're watching right now. We're gonna be hanging out, and we will share our experience, answer your questions. And the difference is this, you know, when you go to like those workshops, right? I know I've gone to workshops at different music shops or like academies or like different centers or like they want, you know, like big halls and things like that, right? You know how you go for those things, right? You go, you take photo, you take selfie with the artist, whatever the person teaching, right? And then you go home, you're very semangat, you know, like, yeah, I can do this jazz thing, I can do this guitar thing, saxophone thing. But then when you go home, right, 1-2 weeks later, you forgot already what you learned. You took some notes like on your phone. Maybe some of you record a little bit audio, take some video clips, right? But you might forget after that, you know, because like when you come back, you're like, I can do this. I learned so many things I can apply. But the good thing about the Zoom thing is that you're gonna actually get the video of the session. So just like this, well, this Facebook Live thing, you can also watch the replay. And some of you might be watching the replay, but the Zoom session is going to be 2 hours, and so you can watch it live and attend live just like this. But you also get to watch the video again and again, so that 1 week later, 2 weeks later, 3 months later, 6 months later, you can also watch it again and remember what you learned. So maybe something that we cover maybe too advanced or too complex at that time, but 6 months after that, you can watch the video, you can still get it. So that's, wow, Justin, so kind of you, man. Justin Lim in the house. To awesome teachers. Thanks, Justin. That's so sweet of you, man. Really appreciate it. Shunide, excellent, bro. Thank you. Yes, Roshefian said, yes, can see the Gumroad page. Very cool. So yeah, so anyways, so the point is that it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter, actually, to be honest, it doesn't matter your level, because even if you don't understand everything when you're watching it live, you can always watch the video again, which is my frustration. I don't know about you, Julian. Sometimes you go for a workshop, right? It's too advanced at that time, but like 1 year later when you can get it, you're like, I wish I remembered what I learned, because I think I could use it now. Yeah.
I totally feel that way.
Yeah. So this is the thing. So this is the main thing. So just check it out. So the 2-hour session has 6 parts. One is music theory as an accelerator. What I mean here is a fancy way of saying, you know how you learn music theory for ABRSM or for exams, right? It's all for exams. So you remember, like, like perfect fifth, interval, triads, all these things. But you cannot really use it for your playing. You feel that you just memorize things for exam. And both me and Julian were discussing this through our rehearsals, preparing for this. We wanted to give you how we actually use music theory that's not just for an exam or for paper for qualification. So we're going to cover that in the first part. The second thing is transposition skills and working with singers, real world skills and tips. Believe it or not, I don't know whether you believe it or not, but you are going to probably end up working with a lot of singers as a musician. As a working musician, you're going to work with singers, and there are things that you need to know to constantly get called. Julian, I'm sure you work with a lot of singers, and there's a lot of things that you need to know, right, to work with singers.
Oh yeah.
From the music side to the the technical side, all these kind of things, right? So we're gonna cover that. Part 3 is what a lot of people want to know, scales, what modes, what ear training. You're gonna get that. Number 4, what we did today was a preview of what we're going to discuss, how to digest musical vocabulary so that you can sound great. Don't want to just like learn licks and then licks tak keluar in your playing. So we're going to go deeper into that to help you understand how to use licks in your playing, so that you don't just memorize licks and never, when you jam with your friend, you're still using pentatonic or still using blues. We want to help you have more ideas. And number 5, the process of learning and the mistakes most students do. I can tell you the mistakes that most students do, because I have a lot of students. Even in one of my classes, right, I have a thing called Rahsia Jadi Hero Major Skills. I have like 500 people signed up for that, and so and that's just that one session. I've also taught in person many classes. So we're gonna share you what mistakes we've made, and also what mistakes that we've seen students make. And the best part is you're gonna get also the 6th part if you attend live, which is a Q&A session. So not only all that, this is what you get. So You're gonna get a 2-hour session live. That's the time. As a live participant, you get to ask your questions. We answer it. You're gonna get a video recording. So even if you can only attend halfway, you have to go lunch after that. You can still watch the rest of the video. And you're also gonna get, this is something that we're gonna prepare, downloadable and printable PDF notes so that you can digest the material. So you watch the class, right? Maybe like, hey, apa benda Julian explain, I don't understand. You can still look at the notes, and we're going to prepare some notes for you so that you can print it out and look at it and take, and like write stuff on it and things like that. So we have a nice photo to convince you guys that we are trustworthy. But on the website you can read our bio. Julian has performed with Jeremy Montero, Saxman, James Morrison, a lot of Tony Lakatosh, James, so many people. And then he studied with people, a lot of different people. He also played at these different jazz festivals. I've studied and taught at Berkeley. I've released albums. I perform at different places, a lot of festivals, things like that. This is a whole bunch of things that my students have said about me. Let me scroll. Yeah. So yeah, will you get notes? Yes, you're gonna get notes. Will you get exercises you can use? Yes. You cannot make it for the Zoom session. Don't worry, you get recording, so you can still get it. You don't play guitar or saxophone, can also. You don't have to. You even can be a singer. You can still learn something from this as well. Can you purchase this after the workshop is over? Yes, you can. But when the workshop is over, it's going to be $20, if not more. Right now, if you sign up for the early bird, it's going to be $15. You're going to save $5. Now you might ask, why are you guys charging less now? It's because we want to get more people to come live for the thing, and also because honestly, me and Julian, we've never done this thing live, like a workshop together like this. So we don't know whether people are interested. I don't know how many people might come for it. So we want to make it this one as an introduction. So if you like it, hopefully in the future you can come for other ones. But we want to make sure that as many people as possible, musicians, can attend this. That's the main reason, So we're really honest. We're charging less now for this 2-hour session so that more people can attend and try it out. And hopefully you're going to learn something from it and come back for the future ones. So very honest. So so these are the details. Basically, if you go to the page, it's $15 right now until this Wednesday. Sampai Rabu ni tau. Until this Wednesday is $15. You can sign up on the site directly. On Thursday, as soon as Thursday, right, I probably stay up until like midnight, 12 midnight, and change it to $20. So if you don't wait until last minute, sign up now so you get it for $15. And if you want to pay via Maybank Instant Transfer, it is possible. Just message me on my Facebook page and I'll give you the Maybank Instant Transfer. Better if you just sign up on the Gumroad page, the link I gave, because you also get, I didn't tell Julian this, but we're also giving, but he'll be okay with it lah. We're also giving our EP, which is a live recording we did at Bobo. That's a four-song EP live recording at the Jazz Marathon a few years ago. So as soon as you register, you're going to get this 4-track EP. You can listen to us and try to find our mistakes or try to find cool licks, or let's just like check it out. So you get that immediately, and later I'll send you guys the Zoom thing. So that's the session. So let me stop sharing because I have been brave enough to do that. So So hey, Mr. Lee Kid You. Cikgu asked, your video lessons and Zoom sessions are great. Got most of your basic lessons a few months back, still digesting it today. Yeah, Mr. Lee has been, he's bought so many of my things, invested in so many of the Zoom things. He's also awesome. Part of Club Guitar Asamat, so he gets a lot of these things. He gets a lot of my material, so I'm happy. Mr. Lee, I hope you can join the session with Julian. I think it's going to be quite a fun session. It's going to be interesting as well. It's going to be different because we've got saxophone kind of ideas. And Nick Chua said, sounds interesting. Yeah, man. I mean, both of us are excited to share this with you guys. So if you guys are interested, please do. So so that's the thing. Like I said, it's until this Wednesday, it's $15. If you pay by a Maybank Instant Transfer, it's 60 ringgit. I just do a simple ×4, and that's it. That's the info. So does anyone have any questions just before we wrap up? Maybe both of us will play a little something short to just close up lah. So the music can. Anyone have any questions? Okay, I think there's no questions. So let's wrap up in the same way. So I'll play something short, and then Julian will play something short. Again, thanks so much for being here for this session. There's still 42 of you. We really appreciate, whether you're watching live or watching the replay. Thank you. Julian, any last words before we play some music to close up the session?
Well, I'm looking forward to see all of you guys at the Zoom session this coming Sunday, next week. So it's going to be fun, and it will definitely. And we're going to do another Facebook Live thing on Wednesday, and I'll be hosting
Yes.
it this time, and I'm looking forward to that too. So we're gonna have another chance to like talk to you guys and like play a little bit of music or just have a Q&A session. So we'll see you then.
Yeah. So wow, Rochelle says, "Wow, Nick Chua. Wow, Nick Chua. I think you might be the first person in the world
Hey,
to have signed up. So thanks, Nick. Thanks for signing up.
thanks,
Really, really
Nicole.
appreciate it. We hope, in the words of many people that I like, we hope to over deliver and give you a lot of things you can use, and that you can learn and hopefully help you for years to come. So. We're gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna play something short, and then Julian's gonna play something short. Like Julian said, I'm going to be on Julian's Facebook page this Wednesday. Julian will be posting about it. So make sure you follow Julian Chan as well. And so you can watch this thing replay, but you can also catch us live again on Wednesday. Wednesday, we're going to warn you guys to sign up because Wednesday is the last day to sign up. But sign up today, lah. Don't need to worry until Wednesday. Okay? So, yeah, Nicole here. Hey, Nicole. Thanks,
Thanks,
Nicole.
Nicole.
Yeah, thanks so much, Nicole. Okay, so I'm going to play something short. Yeah. Okay, let's see.
Right.
I realized I was muted, so you didn't hear a single joke I mentioned just now. Oh my god, it's like a silent film. I want to say thank you so much to Julian Chan for being here. Thanks Julian for
All
taking
right.
time off your busy day on this Sunday and Sunday of all days. And thanks to my manager Yin for sorting out the details and guiding us throughout this entire process. Thank you to everyone here who has been watching from the beginning. Yeah. Oh, okay. Zin Idris said thanks to both you, Az, and Julian for all the explanation. You both are really great. Thank
Welcome.
you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So this is not over yet. This session is a preview of our session coming up, which is Jazz Up Your Playing, how you can sound better using Pro Practice Secrets. The link is in the comment section. And I'll be joining Julian on his Facebook page this Wednesday. So stay tuned for that. I will announce that on Facebook as well. Make sure you like his Facebook page. Make sure you like my Facebook page, and make sure if this
Julian
is
Chan
interesting
music.
to you, yeah, if you're interested in this topic, do sign up for this, and we hope you can join us for this 2-hour session where we'll share all these things so that you can use it in your own playing as well. So Mr. Lee, thank you so much. Thanks for an interesting Sunday. Wow, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. And also thanks both. Awesome session. Thank you, Clark. That really means a lot. We actually, to be honest, guys, we actually planned half an hour, but we got so excited seeing like hundreds of people, and now so thanks so much, Nicole. Thanks everyone. Wow, you guys are so sweet. Thank you so much. We're gonna go off now, and remember, if you came in halfway, you can watch the replay of this to catch any of the tips and advice and licks that Julian played and stuff like that. See you guys on Wednesday on Julian's page, and see you guys on Sunday for the Zoom session. Thank you.
See you guys.
And see you soon.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
See you soon.